Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to each and every one of those who are following this program. In the context of the Cameroonian political news landscape, where Paul Biya's deeply corrupt, overtly criminal, and undeniably kleptocratic regime has just officially confirmed the unjust exclusion from the upcoming electoral process of several prominent political opponents, including the esteemed president of the MRC, whom I personally warned more than a full year ago about Paul Biya's insidious plans. Thank you for sharing this live broadcast. Share this live with our people. Do not be afraid. You will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. Type good. Life. If you can hear very well. It was Thursday. Type a good, fulfilling life. And share the live broadcast. Meanwhile, the great Bingya Jami sings Atara. Honor to our ancestors. Greetings to all across Cameroon, to the Cameroonian diasporas, from the national servant leader of the indomitable Lionesses and Lions for the Pan-African Liberation of Cameroon. This is Lilipas speaking to you, comrades of the People's Assembly of the Indomitable Lionesses and Lions for the Pan-African Liberation of Cameroon. Share this message. Comrades, General Secretaries of the Indomitable Lionesses and Lions for the Pan-African Liberation of Cameroon, Masters Adrienne Jean and Leah Tangane, share this message. Comrade Commissioners Helen Esoka, Secretary of Strategy and Security, of the Indomitable Lionesses and Lions for the Pan-African Liberation of Cameroon, Lilipas, share this message. Comrade Dr. Jean-Yves Mugu, Secretary of Social and Humanitarian Affairs of the Indomitable Lionesses and Lions Movement for the Pan-African Liberation of Cameroon. Share this message. Comrade Adrienne Kala, Secretary for Youth, of the Indomitable Lions and Lionesses for the Pan-African Liberation of Cameroon. Share this message. You, our friends across Africa and the diasporas, share this message. Today is Tuesday, August 5th, 2025, a pivotal date that is rapidly approaching, marks a significant moment in the calendar year. On the land of mankind, when I speak out, your humble servant has once again been confirmed in Cameroon. Yes, indeed. Yapas negre, bye. Cameroonian women, Cameroonian men, Africans, friends, Americans, Europeans, Asians, friends of the Africa of freedoms. I am addressing you today as I pause thoughtfully in this beautiful park to draw your earnest attention to the significant realization of a comprehensive analysis we have been diligently conducting for several months, indeed even several years, regarding the complex and evolving political situation within Cameroon. Noting that the dictatorships inherited from French neocolonialism all across Africa had taken note of the numerous electoral and post-electoral crises they generated, such as the Ivorian electoral and post-electoral crisis, such as the 2018 electoral and post-electoral crisis in Cameroon, or even that of 1992 in Cameroon. I had demonstrated that from now on, the dictators of France-Afrique, Alassane Rahman, Ouattara, even Macky Sall, Paul Biya, Maurice Talon, Olig Nguema, Mamadi Doumbouya, I had shown that all these dictators had decided to resolve the electoral issue through pre-electoral exclusion. Pre-electoral exclusion becoming the means that allowed them to ensure total control over the so-called electoral processes, which I have called pseudo-elections. Elections in which they seized the electoral rolls, they seized the electoral body, they seized the Constitutional Council, the judge of electoral disputes, they seized the state coffers, and they seized and used the security forces for their own benefit, the most decisive and sovereign powers of the state, and they secure media and diplomatic coverage for their wrongdoing. I had said that none of this deserved to be called an election. But to focus specifically on Cameroon, I had explained to the Cameroonian opposition, and especially to the members of the Cameroon Renaissance movement, my brothers and sisters of the MRC, that Paul Biya was preparing to exclude from candidacy in the 2025 presidential elections any Cameroonian political opponent capable of challenging the theft, the violation, and the fraud that have characterized the electoral processes from 1945 to 2025 in Cameroon. You are my witnesses. Millions of you follow me on my Facebook platforms. YouTube, TikTok, you are my witnesses. I had warned everyone that Paul Biya would exclude, that Paul Biya's corrupt regime would this time exclude all opposition candidates who might try to challenge his supremacy and would not allow them to compete in his sham election. That those who, from the day after October 12th, would submit to the prefabricated, pre-written verdict that Paul Biya was going to dictate to the downtrodden people. On that occasion, I said it would therefore be better to come together right away to demand the resignation of Paul Biya's regime, the fall of Paul Biya's regime, and to obtain the opening of a civil-military transition, allowing us to provide Cameroon with a new constitution. And it is only on the basis of this new constitution, established by referendum, a constitution for a federal and pan-African Republic of Cameroon, that we could then organize credible elections. I called upon my brothers and sisters from all the determined Cameroonian opposition groups seeking a change in power, has given up believing that a change in power could be achieved in Cameroon supposedly through peace and the ballot box, since Paul Biya rules through war and cheating. We needed to call our people to a massive mobilization by the millions. We needed to call our people to a great mobilization. Trans-ethnic, trans-religious, and trans-regional, we urgently needed to call upon our people to take to the streets across the entire nation, specifically in the far north, Adamawa, the center, the south, the east, the west, the northwest, the southwest, and the littoral regions. From the very south as one united front in order to definitively put an end to a tyrannical regime that truly brings profound shame to all Cameroonian women and men, regardless of their political affiliations, their generational differences, or their diverse backgrounds and origins. So-called ethnic, religious, regional, or corporate affiliations. For having delivered this message, the call for mobilization as the priority in the struggle, what I called Plan B, since Plan A, which involved winning at the polls and in peace, was by definition impossible given the criminal organization of Paul Biya's regime for having made this call. For Plan B, at the same time as our movement of the indomitable lionesses and lions for the Pan-African liberation of Cameroon, I was thoroughly insulted by the senior officials of the MRC. I was thoroughly insulted by many activists, both men and women, of the MRC, some of whom are still carrying on with this dirty work to this day. Many of them claimed that Biya would not exclude Maurice KAMTO from the list of candidates for the Cameroonian presidential elections. That day, many challenged me by saying, if that happens, we will join the movement of the indomitable lionesses and lions for the Pan-African liberation of Cameroon. And from now on, we will consider you as the one who saw it coming, the one who saw things clearly, and the one who knows what the Cameroonian people must do to reclaim their sovereignty. I come here today, August 5th, to address those who said I was lying, that I was bluffing. To all those who said I was out of touch, that I was dreaming, that I was tinkering, all those who said I was fooling around, I asked them to show humility, to ask for forgiveness, and to commit themselves with us in building the popular mobilization for the liberation of Cameroon. The second thing I want to tell them is that I had warned them all that their candidate would be excluded. I had warned my brothers and sisters from the MRC that Professor Maurice KAMTO would be excluded from the candidacy. But I had also warned them about one thing. The mistake we must not make is to try to mobilize ourselves to defend the candidacy of a single man. We must now mobilize ourselves to put an end to a regime that divides us, a regime that humiliates us, a regime that impoverishes us, a regime that stupefies us, a regime that does not reflect the vitality, the exceptional nature, and the true intelligence of our people. I had warned the MRC activists that when the time came for their leader to be excluded by Mr. Biya, the mistake they must not make is to mobilize for their leader. The Cameroonian people must move beyond the logic of individual saviors, from the idea of unique saviors to the logic of collective salvation, of a collective struggle for liberation. The Cameroonian hero of the year 2025 and the years to come will not be a man, it will be a people, the people of Cameroon. Let me start again. The Cameroonian hero from this year 2025 until the fall of Paul Biya's regime. It must not be a man, an individual, or a particular name. The hero of the Cameroonian people must be the Cameroonian people themselves. Cameroonian men and women need to realize that by coming out in their millions, in the streets of the north, the south, the east, the west, and through the center, we will achieve a collective victory. As Cameroonian men and women, we will all be proud to have taken part in the peaceful popular revolution that will put an end to the dictatorship, absurd, unique, and unbearable, of Paul Biya, and will open the way to a civil-military transition, allowing for the reorganization of Cameroon's political landscape in favor of popular sovereignty. So this is the second message I am sending to all those who, today, Tuesday, August 5th, 2025, feel frustrated, feel wounded in their souls by the contemptuous behavior of Paul Biya's regime. Oligarchs who use Paul Biya as a puppet, as a rattle, as a toy to continue the capture of the Cameroonian state. If you are aware of the fact that we are collectively ashamed to have such a regime leading us, then join Plan B. Join the call for all Cameroonian women and men to acquire the jerseys. The indomitable lionesses and lions, the sports teams, these jerseys, which are the symbol of unity and national togetherness, must become the rallying sign for the great match to liberate Cameroon from the Paul Biya regime. The electoral path has been blocked in Cameroon since 1945. The electoral path is blocked in Cameroon. Up until today, in 2025, no one can achieve political change in Cameroon through the ballot box and peace. Only the Cameroonian people can achieve political change through their mobilization, through a peaceful popular revolution, by demanding and obtaining the complete resignation of the corrupt, illegitimate, criminal, and fraudulent regime. the shameless regime of Paul Biya. And that is the second message. Now I move on to the third message. There are about a dozen individuals who have literally been selected like demons by the Paul Biya regime to accompany Paul Biya in the list of the 13 evil ones for a hollow and meaningless ritual that is supposed to take place on October 12, 2025. There's no election on October 12, 2025. There is no election because I have shown you that all the conditions necessary for an election to take place have been abolished, removed, and denied in Cameroon. My brothers and sisters, the MRC militants, who still believe that the constitutional judge would bother to side with their leader tonight, are sitting on the sidelines of Cameroonian politics with us, who saw this coming several years ago and told them so. You will be forced to realize that before hoping for this or that individual to come to power in Cameroon, the Cameroonian people must first reclaim power. Power to the people. Power first and foremost to the people. Power first and foremost to the people. Before the people delegate this power to individuals through a transparent process. So from this moment on, only one duty is imperative, only one duty transcends, only one duty must unite Cameroonians. Those who choose to lock themselves in resentment and bitterness will only contribute to forever tarnishing the reputation of their leaders and their movements. Those who understand that the general interest of Cameroon lies in a peaceful, national popular revolution with a Pan-African dimension, only they now bear the responsibility to march toward the liberation of our people. Yes, I am not particularly proud to have been proven right too soon, but you know me well, and you often call me the esteemed doctor of evidence. Some people even call me Chief Signed, because when I articulate things and they subsequently come to pass, I feel it is my duty to gently remind everyone of this fact, that what is happening is exactly what I had predicted. And precisely in order to get you to listen to me much more attentively, from the very moment you yourself can clearly and distinctly perceive your significant error in judgment. Only the peaceful popular revolution can save Cameroon. Millions of Cameroonian men and women peacefully storm all the country's institutions. They secure the resignation of Paul Biya and achieve the establishment of a civil-military transitional government. This is the opportunity to rewrite a true Pan-African federal constitution for Cameroon. Based on this Pan-African federal constitution of Cameroon, and indeed after a transition period that may last from 3 to 5 years, national consultations are organized and the great African nation of Cameroon joins the liberation movement that is underway within the alliance of Sahel states. This is the vision I carry. This is the vision for which narrow-minded people hate me. Whether it's those from the corrupt, criminal, illegitimate, and illegal regime of Biya, which I have been fighting since I was 18, or those who, out of sheer blindness, out of excessive partisan fanaticism, have not had the courage to tell their leaders, "You're making a mistake. You'll be excluded. You're making a mistake. You won't be able to participate in the pre-election. It's better to join the call for a peaceful, popular revolution right now." Peaceful, truly peaceful and national, with the explicit aim of definitively putting an end to the current Paul Biya's regime and opening the way for the genuine and true resurrection of the people of Cameroon. Hapeito Seri, right. Whether you like it or not, you're going to have to listen to me. I was right, whether you like it or not. You're going to have to follow the lionesses and the indomitable lions of the Pan-African liberation of Cameroon. I was right, whether you like it or not. If we want to liberate Cameroon, we must come together as one African people and first put an end to the regime of Paul Biya. Whether you like it or not, I was right. Now have the humility to take part in the great mobilization. Not for one man, but for us as a people. For us as a people. For us as a collective people.
As a people, we are a collective entity bound by shared experiences, common values, and a unified purpose that defines our identity.
Thank you to everyone who shared this message.
God
Bless Cameroon.
Oh my dear God, this is truly unbelievable. This is absolutely incredible.
Bless Cameroon.